days that were undocumented, or
Somewhat.
how was it being excused too?
Somewhat. I was able to utilize some of the unexcused freebie absences that I was able, and I did use those. They were all gone.
My memory of the Woolsey Wet Prairie Brewers Carol Day, because I was there when they showed up, was that you suddenly began to feel ill at school when that Brewers Carol first got out.
It may have been. I don't
You
know.
called your mother, right?
Who knows?
Mother, my stomach's upset.
And
also, can we go to Fayetteville?
Yeah. That late in the year, I think it was all bird related.
It says state record or first, what does that mean?
The first state record means that it is a bird that has never before been documented in Arkansas.
Are prairie mounds associated with flatland prairies up here? I was associated with a land trust in Central Texas for a number of years, and that was one of our primary goals. Flatland prairie, and you get the hill guy, which is that Russian word that means kind of flatland prairie evening.
We need to ask Doug James to respond to that.
Well,
Yes, sir.
I knew Jim Quinn, studied those things extensively. They occur in the belt from Minnesota down to coastal Louisiana, right through the middle of the U.S. And Quinn said, if you want to see him farming, go out to the desert in Arizona and see those clumps of vegetation and collect the sand when the wind blows. He maintained that those things were relics from the dry period after the glaciers retreated. And when the grass came in and covered them all, there was no way they could erode it down. So he felt there were good relics and geological capacity.
It's one of our favorite discussions from around, like Chesney has fantastic prairie mounds on it. And we go out when we have field trips out there. It's really the most important topic of conversation because there are a number of different theories and they arouse people quite a bit and they defend them tenaciously. And so it's always fun to discuss prairie mounds.
Quinn said they occur in the woods as well as in the open country.
Yeah, they're at Ag-Right Farms.
You can only see them on the prairie.
If you want to stay another couple hours, I'll tell you what, I'll run 3 or 4 of the theories by you because I love talking about prairie.
They do flats around here. The farmers flatten in their grass. And if you look at some of the early aerial photographs of Fayetteville, they're just everywhere, right through the city, everywhere.
Did you say there was one on Ag-Right Farm?
You know where Ag-Right Farm is out there?
Yeah.
That little triangular park? Yeah, there were prairie mounds all through that. And as Doug mentioned, after the Civil War, when they started growing wheat, and they were able to apply more industrial machinery to the farm, they became more and more effective at plowing the mounds down and leveling the fields. And just something I find interesting about prairie mounds is that in spring migration, when we have these big rains, like we have 2-3 inch rain, between the mounds there are depressions, and they're like flies out west. They collect shallow water, and in those shallow waters, all kinds of shorebirds that are moving up through. We're on the eastern edge of the Great Plains. Actually, we're east of it, but we're close. These birds that are moving up through the central part of the country feed in those shallow fly-like pools between the mounds. And where those things still exist, you can still see that. And what the loss of all those has meant, I have no idea.
And the Cherokee prairies down in the Arkansas River Valley, which are protected, they're full of those.
Yeah. So like I said, we can spend quite a while talking about it.
Related to the feed, you were talking about the short lead time. The
short-leaf pine trees.
Yeah.
Is there progress on the city's tree options? The city of Fayetteville has a list of trees that are options for planting.
I don't know where it is. I favor making everything illegal shortly. And I think it should be brought up and, voted on with the city board. I'm thinking that it would be difficult to pass that. But, let me just say this about the pine. And to me, I spent my career shortly pine. That's where I worked.